Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen Hill for Sports Choice Plus, and I bring you a very special breakdown of the top 5 NFL defenders going into 2020. Before we get into this amazing list, you want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now and like that like button on the video so you can get all the updates each and every time content comes out from Sports Choice Plus. Without further ado, we're going to get right into the action. And this is just a different kind of video. When I'm looking at the top 5 defenders in the NFL, it was very hard to come up with just specifically 5 guys. So I'm going to give you a little bonus, a little kudos, number 6 here. When I'm looking at overall what he did last year, I know there's not really a gauge on rookies and what kind of impact they have on the NFL, but I had to add this guy into the top 5 list as a 5A. 5 and then 5A. And that would have been Nick Bosa, the little Bosa brother that played for the San Francisco 49ers. You look at his impact, whether it was just he was a rookie or whether it was so many different things going on that he didn't get accounted for as far as the veterans on the 49ers were getting most of the attention. But Nick Bosa popped out on the screen to me the most. When you look at Shanahan's team on the offense side of the ball, they didn't have a lot of fireworks as far as what they did. I know you had Kittle, the tight end, and then you had the running back by committee, and Jimmy G for the somewhat was a game manager. But on the defensive side of the ball is where you had a lot of your anchors. When you look at Richard Sherman and those guys, when you look at that defensive line, and you look at Bosa was the standout from that defensive line. It was just incredible when you look at the numbers he had from last year. Even though you don't have any other data to go off of because he was a rookie, it was very impressive. So that's what I'm adding him as a bonus. But the guy, from the standpoint of he gets after the quarterback extremely well. Even though he may not sack the quarterback on the play, he creates so much pressure that the quarterback has to speed up the play in his mind and get the ball out even quicker than he normally intentionally planned on it. And I think Nick Bosa does an amazing job with that. That's why he's getting an honorable mention on this list. But we're going to start the list off with number 5, Mr. Bobby Wagner. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks and you look at just what they're doing on offense and defense, Russell Wilson is saving that team on offense, and then Bobby Wagner is saving this team on defense. A lot of his pass breakups, pass defenses, a lot of his rushing of the quarterback, what he does well in space, being able to cover the faster wide receivers and the bigger, stronger tight ends in the league has helped the Seattle Seahawks stay relevant for some time now. You look at last year, he was a 99 when you're looking at the grades as far as the top 100 players and things like that, but his overall appreciation you don't see it on game day as far as in stats all the time. What you see it is that defense, and they're bending and not breaking. A lot of times they're just barely holding on a series, but the team's only getting 3 points instead of 7 points. And most of the time it's because Bobby Wagner had something to do with a play, whether it be stopping the run, whether it be limiting a guy after he catches the ball to 3 yards instead of 7 yards. So I think with the schemes that they're having, you're seeing them add Jamal Adams on the back end. I think that's going to help Bobby Wagner just a little bit, and you're going to see him potentially have a pretty good year. And I think he's going to be continuously the best linebacker in the NFL right now because Luke Kuechly retired. And I think that when it's all said and done, you're going to see Bobby Wagner have a hell of a year for Seattle. Coming in at number 4, you're looking at Chandler Jones. He doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does in Arizona because they're not that competitive as far as win-loss record. But what he's done is the last couple of years, he has the most sacks out of any player throughout the NFL. You're looking at Arizona and what they're able to do. They just got D-Hop on the offense. Larry Fitzgerald and company are happy with that. You look at Peterson. If you get Pat Peterson over there at the cornerback position coming into camp healthy and in good shape, you're looking at Chandler Jones. His production value is him as a blitzer. When you're looking at him coming off the edge, he can play on either side of the ball. You look at just what he's able to do. He threatens the quarterback position at a faster pace because he's big and he's fast. He's physical. He does a lot of things well for the Arizona Cardinals, and when they need to dial up pressure, they don't need to bring 3 or 4 guys. They bring Chandler Jones, and he, most of the time, handles that left tackle or handles that right tackle with ease, and then that creates a double team to where you have to chip with a tight end, chip with a running back, chip with a fullback, and then that pulls away from the offensive scheme to where, now coordinator has to stay up a little later at night thinking, okay, where am I going to plug this guy? Where am I going to put this guy for protection of the quarterback purpose? So that's why I think Chandler Jones comes in right there at that position. Coming in at number 3, I think that he doesn't get his just due in Chicago as of right now because of the quarterback situation, but it's Khalil Mack. If you look at what he did last year, so many of those football games, what he did went unnoticed because Mitchell Trubisky dropped the ball on offense or didn't help score enough for that offense for them to get the win. Just looking at some of the games he had against Green Bay, the game he had against Oakland, it's so many different things that Khalil Mack does. You're looking at one of the only players in NFL history that can claim to have an all-pro position at the linebacker position that they made, and then all-pro on the defensive line. So he can do a little bit of everything. He has a plethora of moves when you're looking at his bull rush, his speed rush, power moves. When you look at his swim, when you look at, he can play on any gap on the defensive line. He can do so many different things well. Khalil Mack is from the time he came in Oakland to now, you're looking at just what he's able to do, putting his hand in the dirt, standing up. He covers receivers well when you get him in open coverage. The tight end position, when they're coming in trying to throw tight ends at him, he's literally covering them. He's batting down passes. He's doing whatever he needs to do in order to make sure that the team is not getting that first down or either converted on a third down. Khalil Mack is special. You're seeing just what he's able to do. A year ago, you saw it more dominant than ever because the other Chicago Bears were in the mix too, getting their hands in the pot, getting turnovers, getting costly stops, and making sure the guys were not getting those conversions on third down. So Khalil Mack is literally a gold standard for the NFL, and that's why he's at number 3. It's just difficult because Mitchell Trubisky has not lived up to the expectations. So the offensive side of the ball oftentimes does not give him the production he needs in order for him to rest and that team to get more wins, to capitalize on having such a weapon in Khalil Mack for the Chicago Bears and the Midway Monsters. And coming in at number 2, you're looking at the New England Patriots cornerback, Mr. Stefan Gilmore. I think with announcements that the New England Patriots are not going to have Dante Hightower or they're not going to have Patrick Chung, this just magnifies what Bill Belichick is going to have to do and put on Stefan Gilmore's plate. You're looking just at what he does well. He can literally be a cover corner and follow your guy anywhere on the field. His ability to break up passes, his ability to not only shut down one side of the field, but to play bigger opponents or either smaller opponents, whether it be wide receivers, whether it be tight ends. You saw him last year and then the year before seemingly be put to different tests, and Bill Belichick put him up to a challenge almost every single time. The only time I saw him really get burnt was when they played the Kansas City Chiefs, but that's understandable. He had Tyreek Hill, he had Travis Kelce, he had so many different responsibilities in that game that it was too much for one guy. But when you're looking at this season coming in 2020, I think that he's going to earn that big contract that he has with New England, and you're seeing overall how he's going to blossom, and you possibly could see him win Defensive Player of the Year. I think that Bill is going to surround him with a couple of more good pieces because of the guys that are basically sitting out the season. But when it comes down to it, he is the MVP of that Patriots defense. You're seeing how he makes a lot of the adjustments, the audible calls, the signal calls. That's what he's there for. He's essentially the quarterback of the defense, with them having no linebacker or safety that is a trusted veteran. And last but not least, my guy, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, number 1 defensive player in the NFL, undersized defensive tackle, but he's playing his play. He's playing like a guy that's 6'5". Being able to literally take double teams, triple teams, single blocks, and throw them to the wind. It's impressive. It's incredible. Just seeing what he does to prepare each and every year, it's a testament to why he's playing so well. When you look at just how the Rams were, 1 year away and they were in the Super Bowl, now they fell off. but Aaron Donald's production has not slipped. What he's doing on tape, the hand placement, when he gets up on an offensive lineman and he kicks those hands away from him, he's clean in how he breaks that press. When you're looking at whenever he's making his moves, he's got the first step. He's pivoting, he's moving, he's up and down the defensive line. And I think they stumbled upon something when I'm watching the film. They started using Aaron Donald as a defensive end when he was coming off the right side. And then you can bring pressures with other guys on that defensive line and from the linebacker position and even the corner position if you want to get sneaky on that defense and just run completely the offense insane. Aaron Donald is not only a strong guy, he's a fast, physical guy, and you just look at the last 2-3 years of his production, and that tells you everything you need to know. At his best, Aaron Donald literally is a double team's nightmare, no matter if it's a chipping from a tight end, a chipping from a running back, or 2 offensive linemen, or 3 offensive linemen. We've seen him make plays against 2 and 3 guys, and I mean literally disrupting the full play. He's dropping literally in the middle of the play where you can have 2-3 offensive linemen literally in front of him. He's moving them out the way. He's physically stronger than them. And when I mean driving them back 3-4 yards per play, that's you can't really teach that kind of physicality. So Aaron Donald takes the cake, and I think that Aaron Donald could be Defensive Player of the Year. He was graded out the top 100 as one of the best, and you're looking just at his dominance. He's an all-pro defensive tackle that literally can play defensive end. He can literally do whatever he wants to on the football field. So these are my top 5 with the honorable mention of Nick Bosa, as I said before. What do you guys think of that list? Do you think that somebody else could have been on that list? Who do you think you could have added? Who do you think you would take away from this list? Leave all those comments in the comment section below. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we're going to come out with some hot content and keep you guys entertained during quarantine. But until next time, please be safe and wash those hands, good people.